The story of the Pilgrims began in England, in a place called Nottinghamshire. A group of people there grew increasingly upset that they did not have the freedom to practice their religion in the way that they wanted. An important church leader, Tobias Matthew, began to send people to jail if they didn't worship in a traditional way. Fearing they would be arrested, the group decided to leave England in search of religious freedom, and in 1609 they traveled to Leiden in Holland. But after they arrived, it was obvious that there wasn't enough farming work for them. They were also worried they would lose their English identity. So they decided to return to England and seek a new land where they could start again in the new world, America. The Pilgrims had decided to seek a new life in the new world. They rented a boat called the Mayflower for the long and difficult journey across the Atlantic Ocean. They left England in September 1620. The voyage started well. However, when they were about halfway, they got caught in a violent storm that damaged the ship. They thought about heading back to England, but they were able to make repairs and continue on their way. In November 1620, after over 2 months at sea, they saw land. Before they went ashore, an important document called the Mayflower Compact was written and signed. This was an agreement that everyone would work together to help the new colony to prosper. The travelers explored the coast and found the place to build their new lives. They called it Plymouth, after the town they'd set sail from in England. It was here on Plymouth Rock that the Pilgrims first set foot on American soil. Life in Plymouth did not begin well for the Pilgrims. A fierce winter made building houses difficult. Most people had to stay on the Mayflower for a further 2 months. The cramped conditions on the ship gave rise to the spread of diseases. Of the 102 passengers that left England, only 53, just over half, survived the first winter. Food was also scarce. Just as it looked as if the Plymouth colony would fail, they received help from the Native American people who also lived in the area. On March 16, 1621, the Pilgrims were surprised to see a Native American man named Samoset. He walked into the newly built settlement saying, "Welcome," in English. Samoset introduced them to Massasoit, the Native American leader of the region, and to Squanto, who was fluent in English. Massasoit and John Carver, the governor of the Plymouth colony, made an agreement that they would help each other in times of trouble and not harm each other. Squanto became very important to the Pilgrims. He showed them how to grow crops, where to hunt, and how to catch fish and lobster. The settlement could now begin to grow and flourish.